Good morning and welcome back to Horse Racing Today, where we have Terrific Terry Tuesday. Maybe we should change it to Terrific Terry Monday. A strong performance from Terry yesterday with all the pick fours. I don't know, maybe about $5,000, $6,000 in winnings.
Yeah.
And that three horse, Xavier, was that linchpin for all of that to come together for you, Terry. So that
it was
worked out pretty well. Hopefully today we can do something similar. I don't know. Not as deep cards today, but I'm sure there'll be some long shots out there. And I'm sure we'll have some long shots today as well at Finger Lakes as our free track guaranteed tip sheet. There is a link in the description below. Kindly go down there and you'll see Finger Lakes is the free track with Happy Instead, the first pick in the first race today. So if you're looking for some Finger Lakes action, that's the place to go. When the show is over, the place to go is to horseracingtoday.net. You'll see all of our ideas as well as a replay of the show right there. Make sure you click on that. And when you're done with that, after yesterday, by golly, you better go buy yourself a Horse Racing Today hat or T-shirt or something along those lines, folks. Got to reward Terry for his wonderful performance yesterday. Tayfam, no excuses today. You should own your resort now, my friend. All right. Race number one, Terry, that's first on our docket on this 9-race card in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. Take it away.
Yeah, it's a mile and 70 yards. It's a maiden claiming race, $10,000 claiming price, purse $19,000, 3-year-olds and upward. That's it.
All right. Well, the profile of a winner at a mile and 70 yards. And I think the first 3 races are $170. So keep an eye on that. You have 39% of the time the horse that gets to the lead stays there and wins wire to wire. There's an inside 3 bonus, 4 through 7 get a discount, 8 and out are fair. 1,000 simulations, Terry, to take a look at what we think could happen in this race. We want to know who has the best chance to get the lead. You see that if I put race number 1 here, that would help us out. But you see that here, based upon our projected pace, which horses have the best opportunity to run a race that is very comfortable, matches their best performances. Q30, particularly a score over 30 is what we're on the hunt for. Par plus, what percent of our simulations ended up with a speed figure of at least 72 or more? The Brisnet par speed figure. And then, of course, we want value. We want horses that have a post-time odds to be higher than our simulation odds. Terry, what do you see here?
All of them show speed except for that 1, and the 2 and 3 have the most speed, and they could go head-to-head that quarter pole. The 3 has an overlay from about 7.5 to 1 to 12 to 1. The 7 has an overlay from about 6 to 5 to 6 to 1. All but the 2, 4 have par plus numbers, and all but the 1, 6 have C zones.
All right, so real fast, Terry. It doesn't look like we're going to have a whole lot of time to get through this part, but you can see here's what the pace looks like. 1's making a first-time start, 4 has not been close. These guys want to close. Early pace belongs to the 3 horse, a little bit quicker than the rest. Late pace belongs to the 6 horse. And then our top total pace horses here, Terry, are your 6 and 7. Real fast or loading, what are your picks?
6 is my first choice, finishing the money 3 out of 6 starts at Parx Racing. Has a trainer wins 19% of the maiden claiming races as horse completing in. 7, second choice, finished 3rd in his last race, has the highest last speed rating. His best start speed is fast among today's starters. The 1 is my 3rd choice. He is first-time starter as a trainer who wins 28% with first-time starters that he has a horse completing in, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. The 4 is my long shot. He has a high percentage winning trainer. 21% of the races that trainer has a horse running in of the claiming races, he wins, and he returns to the dirt, which offers hope. Pick 4, 1, 4, 6, 7, 1, 2, 5, 6 with the 1, 4, 6 with 4, 6, $48 ticket.
Yeah, I have the 1 first-time starter, not a lot to beat. 7 has a par race. The 6 horse, that one looks pretty solid as well. 3, here are my picks as they're about to get cooking. 10 to win in place on at 5 to win on the 1, $3 exact and 1, 6, and then a $5 1 and 5. They're off and running. And the 3 horse, Harrison C, the one that we thought could get to the front, along with the Toady Hopper. Those 2 are on the front, although that first-time starter, he's running a little bit wild to get started there. He ran down around the rail, went to the outside, giving chase to that 3 horse. He's 1-1 right now. So the betting public liking the first-time starter, probably feeling there's not a whole lot to beat in this race. They go around the corner as they Front two open up a lead of probably about 3 lengths to the next closest horse. The 3-horse continues to set the pace at 14-1. 23.7 seconds, not the fastest of opening quarters. The first timer right off the tail side of that 3-horse. The rest of the field is trying to make their way forward as they want to catch up with the 2 horses on the front. The 1-horse, the first-time starter, has taken over as they ran a pretty slow half mile, 49.5 seconds. So that's really not all that quick. 1-horse still has command of the race. The jockey on the 6-horse is out already. I think this race is probably going to be some order of 1-7 because the 7 is moving better than anybody. But that 1, I think the only thing we have to discuss here is how far of a victory is it going to be. Down around the turn of the come, the jockey on the 1's looking between his legs. I think he's pretty confident he has this race in the bag. I think the only question is who finishes second. Right now, it looks like the 6-horse is hanging in there, although there are a couple horses trying to give chase here for that second position. I don't know that they're going to get in front of the 6. It's going to go 1 and then the 6, I think. Yeah, 1 is the easy winner. Then the 6, 1, 6, 5, 7. 1, 6, 5, and 7. So Terry alive with his pick 4. Rich is alive with his pick 4. I got the 10 to win on the 1. That doesn't pay a whole lot at even money, unfortunately. I got the $3 exacta with the 1 and 6. That probably won't pay a whole lot either, but hopefully it pays more than $6.
That's what we hope.
Yes. Anytime you can turn up. What is your saying, Terry? About turning a profit in no time flat?
Well, yeah. Anytime you can make 100% on your money in a minute and a half, boy, I'm going to take that every day because you can't get anywhere else.
You know, Tayfam, I'm glad you say that. We hear that comment a lot. And if you agree with Tayfam, one of the best ways to let us know that you feel like we have a great program is to give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Give us a like if you're, well, we're not on Facebook anymore. Give us a retweet if you're watching on Twitter. The only reason we're on Facebook is because we have a group page and not like our personal page. And Facebook has some stupid rules that you can't show your shows on like group pages, which doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever at all. But I don't make the rules. Zuckerberg does. And he's got all that money and I don't. It makes a big difference. All right. So the race 2 is what we're going to do now, Terry. So your job is to tell us the conditions. Again, 1 mile and 70 yards.
That's right. It is 1 mile and 70 yards. It's a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, purse $21,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 2 races.
Yes, and at $170, you saw the 1 get to the lead and keep the lead there. That's usually the way to win about 40% of the time. That's exactly how it happens, Terry. Get to the front and stay at the front. Post position wise, the inside 3, boy, we saw that again with the 1-horse getting the W there. They get a bonus. 4 through 7 get discounted. Anybody who wears an 8 or out, they get a fair trip. Again, 1,000 simulations to give us a sense of what to expect. If they go wire to wire again today, Terry, which one is that going to be?
Well, it looks like the 2 will to me. I think that 2 should get a good break, should get out of there and get that quarter pole. There's 2 or 3 others that have some speed, but not exactly the amount that the 2 does. The 3 has an overlay from 6.5 to 1 to 10 to 1. The 4 has an overlay from 3 to 1 to 10 to 1, and the 5 has an overlay from about 6 to 5 or 7 to 5 to 5 to 2. All but the 2 have par plus numbers, and all of the horses have C zones. Especially the 4 has a really nice C zone, and the 5 has a real good Q30.
So we're looking for a C zone score of about 50% or more. That means when we did our 1,000 simulations at 50% of the time. So what we do is we isolate the horse's best race from its recent past performances. You know, most of them are up to 10. That's the data that we have. So we isolate that race, and then we overlay our simulation on that race to see how closely those 2 line up. Well, 90% of the time for Mendel's Fly, yes, those matched up. And again, James Quinn in his book, The Complete Handicapper, I recommend it if you haven't read it yet. Maybe on the Horse Racing Today site, I'll put a list of recommended reading in case you're interested in sharpening your saw for your horse racing handicapping skills. But anytime it gets over 30%, it says you can bet those horses blindly. They generate a positive ROI. Our trip handicapping, E-horses, they want to be your pilots. They want to lead the ship. EPs can either pilot or co-pilot. The Ps are co-pilots. They don't like to be in charge. They want to sit in that second, third spot and then close out the race late. PCs, those are your flight attendants anywhere on the plane. 136 sitting in coach, your closers. These folks here, they're on the waiting list, the standby list, and haven't gotten a ticket yet because they've not been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. And they're first-time starters. None of those here today. Looking at this race shape, we see most of the horses want to be middle back. That means if you get to the front, particularly that 4-horse, Lone E, those horses can do very well. That might not be the destination for Mendo's Fly today. That looks like the 2 and the 5. The end of the race, we do see Bow in the back. A 5-point advantage over Surfboard, about a 1-length edge. Every 5 points equals 1 length. Our top total pace horses, the top 4 usually produces close to 3 out of 4 winners. Surfboard, that 5-horse, 9 points better than the 2. Anytime you see a horse with that big a differential, it has to be in your picks. Maybe not at the top because Terry likes something else up there.
Yeah, I like the 2 as my first choice. He drops in class today, has a highest last speed rating, actually tied with another horse, and has a high percentage when he jockey and trainer. Surfboard, the 5 is my second choice, switches to high percentage when he jockey, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. The 6, my third choice, drops in class today and can handle the distance. And then First Squad, the 1's my long shot. He has a win at Parx Racing and is trained by Scott Lake, a very good trainer. And I'm going to play my second pick 4. It's a Miami Vice pick 41256 with the 1456 with the 46 with the 158, another $48 ticket.
Mendelsohn has 10-1 morning line. Why is he the highest class on the 4? And let's see. So when you're talking about highest class, you're talking about here, according to that, that's Surfboard with the highest class rating. Which one are you looking at in this race, the 4-horse? Why did you get the highest class in your view? I am not sure what data you're looking at, but let me know. We have it as an overlay here, a pretty good one. I have him in my picks. I'll tell you why he made my picks in there, Sirani. I'm looking at the 5-horse as my top selection here. Surfboard does have that top total pace advantage over the rest of the field. And if it can go back just one race, it would smoke these horses. The 2-horse, Villanito, that one drops to a lowest level of its career. And you can see here, very strong chance to get on the lead, perhaps go wire to wire. I like the 4-horse because it does have by far the top C-zone score in here. And if we look at its last race, the early pace and the late pace were much better. You can see the numbers right here. 75 versus 64 and 78 versus 61. It's actually a Z pattern too, because you see up, a little rest, and then back up again. I should probably call that a V pattern. I think I'm going to change it to V pattern going forward. And then finally, the 6-horse Copish. This one's running at the lowest level of its career. Yeah, facing the lightest company it's seen. Another pick 4 here, 2-5, 4-6, 1 through 6, and then 1, 5, 7, 8, and a $5 double for me, 5 with the 4 and the 6, hoping to maybe catch a little bit of value with the 5-horse. Let's see right now, according to the odds makers, the 6-horse is really the favorite in here. So look out for that 6-horse. And you know, a lot of times too, you can take a look at which horse is going to be the favorite by the doubles. And right now it says the 2-horse is $5 to 1 on the daily double. And then the 5-horse is $7.90. So I think by the time the race starts, the 2 will be the favorite, the 5 will be your second choice, and the 6 will be the third choice. We'll see. On to race 3 we go, Terry.
All right. So in race 3, we're going to go at 1 mile and 70 yards.
Again.
And it's a claiming race. Yeah. $7,500 claiming price, purse $21,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 4 races.
Again, about 40% of the horses win wire to wire. On the front, again, early speed is the best way to win at 1 mile and 70 yards. Post positions 1, 2, and 3, they actually have an edge over the rest of the field. 4 through 7, they have a little bit more work to do than the rest of the field. And 8 and out, they get a fair trip around the track, Terry. So inside 3 speed in race number 3 for the 3rd race in a row at 1 mile and 70 yards. Boy, Sure looks like the bulk of the speed can be found on the Buffalo Girl outside.
That's right. That 6 has all the speed in the world as it looks like, so she get that quarter pole first. The 2 has an overlay from about 9 to 2 to 6 to 1. The 4 has an overlay from about 6 to 5 to 5 to 2. All but the 1 show par plus numbers, and all but the 4 show C zones.
Yeah, really no comfortable C zones in here, but that big chance to get to the lead on that horse there. Would have liked to seen the odds line up with the morning line odds. A little bit scary, but on this race, we do have the one horse, Gormley Girl. If that one can get the lead, Loney, everybody else middle back, I don't know that the one will get that big of an early race advantage. Will be tested by the 6. The 3 will keep them all busy as well. There's only 7-point difference between Motown Annie and Gormley Girl at the top. Should be competitive at the start. You have to be careful not to get forced wide, which could be where that 6 horse is found. At the end, Sirenetta, that one has the biggest in-race advantage over the rest of the field. A 9-point total pace, late pace edge. So if the 4 horse, which right now looks like it'll be about a length off the leaders, has about a length and a half total pace, late pace advantage, that means that horse should have a total race advantage of about 1 length. If the race plays to pace, like our good friend Chris Parmalu says, should be the 4 horses race to win. Terry, you see it as the 6, as do I.
I do. I like that 6, Liam's Kiss. She finished second in her last start as a favorite, but has a trainer wins 28% of the races. When bringing a beaten favorite back to race again, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. She finished number 4 is my second choice. She finished second in her last 2 races at Parx Racing, and she has the highest last speed rating. The 1, Gormley Girl, is my third choice. She finished third versus similar in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. I like the 5 as my long shot. She has a trainer who wins 18% of the dirt starts he has a horse competing in, and she has a high percentage, the highest speed figure at today's distance. The third pick 4 that I'm going to play is 1456 with the 1246 with the 158, and then finish up with the 58, cost $48.
So to answer your question on e-ponies, Serrani, why e-ponies has, they're strictly, from my understanding, a quantitative, so it's all data. There's no human input outside of building the model. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty certain that that's how that works. And if you rewind back to the 4 horse, maybe he's using class as what kind of races they be coming out of. And again, I mentioned that the 4 horse is running at the lowest level that it has. So I guess you can call that class, but if it doesn't win up there, I don't know that it actually has that class. For me, I'm going to start with the 6 horse reluctantly over the 4 horse there, Terry. Liam's Kiss is the lone PC horse. This horse has been a second place finisher. Maybe I should have put it second behind the 4 horse, because at Parx, 5 races, 1 win, 4 seconds. Has fared exceptionally well at the distance, 7 races, 3 wins, and 4 seconds. So it's probably a flip of the coin between the 6 or the 4, whichever one you want, the closer or the speed horse. Serenetta did run the top last race speed figure. It was 7 points better than the next closest horse, and also has that top total pace edge. Number 3, Amalfi Lady should be closing, and in this field will not be all that far off the pace. And finally, the 1 horse, Gormley Girl, if it can get to the front with that rail advantage and early speed, she can get the right fractions, she could take them all the way. My pick 446, 1346, 1578 with the 358, $10 exact the box with the 4 and the 6, and then a 50-cent super 4646 all. That's a $12 ticket. Hopefully it pays $1 million, Terry. I don't think they'll have $1 million in the pool. I think that would be quite the pool at Parx. And if, like Tafam or Sirianni or others, you have any questions, comments, suggestions, if there are any picks at another track that you like today, let us know. I know we like our picks today at Finger Lakes at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. They're free. I know you like free. There's a link in the description down below. Kindly use that. Head on over to the Muddy Track in New York State. Catch yourself some W's there as well. Let's try to catch some W's in the 4th race. We finally get away from 1 mile and 70 yards.
All right. We sure do, because we're going to go to shorten up really to 5.5 furlongs. It's a claiming race 5,000, purse 18,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won or 2 races since May 12th.
And you better be damn fast at this distance, Terry. You know why?
Why?
58% of the time, the horse that wins the race to the quarter-mile marker wins the race to the finish line, collects the big check and the checkered flag outside in. The farther you are from the rail, the better off you are despite that early turn. So show me some speed on the outside, Terry, and you show me a horse, the great chance to go wire to wire.
Well, they all have speed. The 2, 5, and 6 have the most speed. So, it's really an anyone's guess race, I think. The 3 has an overlay from 3-1 to 4-1. The 4 has an overlay from just under 2-1 to 3-1. And the 5 has an overlay from 9-2 to 8-1. All of them show par plus and all show C zones.
And our race shape, we want to see, well, look at this one, Terry. Everybody's middle forward. If the 5 horse can be close and has a late speed advantage, could run by all these horses as they battle it out early. Looks like it'll be pretty contested early, too. All these horses here within 8, only the 1 horse, Spotted Bull, not really a part of the mix early on, although being on the rail, it could challenge. At the end of the race, Marathoner is the one with the most late speed. There's that 1 horse that will be at the back of the pack, looking like it'll try to get into the mix. But once again, most of the horses in a very tight window here within 6 points of one another. I suspect that we'll see a pretty tight board at the top here as well. Look at all this, Terry. All these horses within 6 points of each other. Looks like only Captain Chaz doesn't fit in. Pretty open race, Terry. What do you think?
Well, I like in this race the 6 Pylon. He ran second versus Tougher in his last race, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer. The 4 Looking Supers made second choice, finished third versus similar in his last race, has the highest last speed rating. He's tied with another horse, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. The Spotted Bull, the 1 is my third choice, has a highest speed figure at today's distance and likes the distance. And then 2 Almond Cider is my long shot, was only beaten in length and 3/4 versus Tougher in his last start. So he drops in class today, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. On the 4th pick 4, I'm going to play 1-4-6 with a 1-3-5-8 with a 3-5-8-9. Finish up with a 1-3 $48 ticket.
Tayfam, for you, I'm going to do this. Since your picks are going right now, here at this mark, so mark this down at 22:45. Here are all of our picks for the day. I know that you say your picks are going on in Turkey right now. Take a look at these, Tayfam. Photocopy it, screenshot it, do what you need to do. But there you go, Tayfam. Take a look at that. For me, in the 4th race, I'm going to start off with the 4 horse, Looking Super, Terry. That one just missed at this level last time out. So any improvement against this crew, and he won't miss this time around. Pylon, your 6 horse, my second choice, taking a drop in class. The last race was better than it looked because it ran the same fractions as it did the previous race, where it won wire to wire. Number 3, Marathoner. This one's going to drop to the lowest level of its last 10 races, but really not been all that successful at Parx. 6 times out with just a 3rd on the resume. And then finally, Spotted Bull, the 1 horse going to carry 10 pounds less today, does have the most back class and perhaps a good shot to be better in the second start after a layoff. My pick 4, I'm starting with the 1-3-4-6 with the 1-5-7-8, the 3-5-8 with the 1-6, just like you, Terry, putting $48 in investment to work. Middle race of the card, 9 races again today at Ben Salem. Tomorrow, Terry and I will take our talents to Louisville, Kentucky for Churchill Downs. On Thursday, our talents will be on display at Aqueduct in the Big Apple. And then Friday, of course, Tom and I get back for Foreign Fridays. I'm not quite sure where we're going to do yet. Maybe Hong Kong. Seems a lot of people like the Hong Kong show, so maybe we'll do that again. To make sure you don't miss Churchill, Aqueduct, whatever we do, Foreign Fridays, and back again for Parx next Monday and Tuesday. Terry, what's the best course of action?
Well, you need to subscribe to YouTube and hit that little bell so that you're notified about any of our programs. Go ahead and go down there and copy that link, share it with everybody you know, because they can come and take a look at what we're doing. And I know they're going to like what they see. Go to our social sites at Horse Race the number 2 day at Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X, Threads. and give us a thumbs up and a like, because I know that'll help us out a lot. And please do that. And then also keep these comments coming, because they help us out too. And we like to
Yeah,
see them.
any interaction, whether you give us a comment in a little bit when the show is over, we'll timestamp every race. So when you look at the description on YouTube, you'll see tiles for every race. You can click on race 5 if you want to see what our comments, thoughts, and data were for that race. Any interactivity helps boost our search engine scores. So other folks who are looking for horse racing selections might find us when they search for horse racing picks. So 5th race, Terry, tell us about this one. This one's going to be a little bit different, and the only time we'll see 7 furlongs on the day.
Yeah, we're stretching out to 7 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $5,000 claiming price, purse $18,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won 2 races since May 12th.
At 7 furlongs, the type of horse that usually collects a picture in the winner's circle is a stalker. So you want to be in the middle half of the pack early on, but still almost 1 out of 4 quarter wins gate to wire. There is an inside 3 bonus. So those horses have a definitive advantage over 4 and out. There's not a big difference once you get 4 further away from the rail, but those inside 3 really do have an edge, particularly if they have a little bit of early speed, and it looks like Ole Meister has a ton of it.
Yeah, he does. He's got the most speed. As you can see, they all got some speed, but the 7 shows the most speed in here, followed up by the 1 does, followed up by the 7 and 2. The 7 has the overlay from 5 to 2 to 8 to 1. All but the 9 show par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones, and they're pretty nice. And then the 7 has a really nice Q30.
Yeah, and should be close to the front. That Q30 score, again, horses that have a 30% or higher, they got a great shot of being on the front or near the front all the way around the track. Par plus, strongest par plus in there, Terry, and the simulation favorite. Lots of reasons to put a close eye on that 7 horse. Do we need a close eye on the 7 horse here? Well, most of your horses, again, middle back. Although this crew right here has a lot of versatility, 2, 6, and 7 want to be front runners. Let's see who's going to be up on the front. Well, the 2 and 7 are going to be there. Maybe the 6 horse, Mucho Macho Eddie is the odd speed horse out all the way at the bottom of the pack there, but still only 8 points away from all of the others. So it could be pretty hot when the race gets started. Golden Wildcat, there's a really good race advantage. 9-point late speed edge means that horse has about a 2-length advantage over everybody else. It really won't be 2 lengths off the lead when the race gets cooking. As far as your top total pace horse, that is Golden Wildcat, Catch My Vibe, Whiskey Prize, Ole Meister. Those 4 will make up our top 4. Very likely your winner will be in that mix. Terry, who's in your mix?
Well, in mine, I like in this race the Whiskey Prize, the 5. He likes Parx racing. He's been in the money 47% of the races, and he has won 21% of the starts. He likes the distance, and because he's won 1 race out of 1 start. I like the 1 as my second choice. He was beaten only a half a length versus similar in his last start. The Rail Post is winning 19% clip. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. I like 8 Golden Wildcat as my third choice. Drops in class today. He has a high percentage winning trainer. And then Wizard Surratt, my long shot, the 3, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 21% of the claiming races he has a horse competing in, and this shorter distance should help. No additional bets for me here.
I'll begin with the 1 horse, Ole Meister. We see here that the horse has a good chance to get to the lead, and that is even with just an absolutely brutal start last time out. Did rally hard, so doesn't need the lead necessarily, and this horse has every chance to be at its best in the 3rd start after a layoff. Number 8, Golden Wildcats. That one is our top total pace horse. 8 points clear of the next closest horse. You can't leave those off of your tickets. Here we have the 33 Q30 score. Jabologist should be forward with this crew right in here. And additionally, ran the top last race speed figure 5 points better than the next closest horse. Anytime the 3 or more, folks, you want to circle them, pay a little bit more attention to your handicapping on those. And then finally, Whiskey Prize. It's another horse running at the lowest level of its last 10 races. I think we got an opportunity to maybe get some prices here. So I'm going to do $1 trifecta box with the 1, the 5, the 7, and the 8. Terry, we have 1 minute. Probably more than that to race number 2. Just as a reminder, free picks for guaranteed tip sheet at Finger Lakes today. There is a link in the description down below. Kindly use that. When the show is over, head on over to horseracingtoday.net. Pick yourself up a Horse Racing Today sweatshirt. The weather is changing in most part of the United States. Here's a nice Horse Racing Today. You can change it. You can customize it to fit your needs. There's that gray. If you like pink, you're pretty in pink. I don't think the pink matches that well, though, to be honest with you. I think that looks pretty good, Terry. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Yeah, it looks pretty sharp. You can even write your name and stuff on there on the back if that's something you wanted to do. And then, of course, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you're following us on Twitter today, please retweet at this minute so folks can catch the back half of our card today at Parx. Any additional thoughts from you right now, Terry?
Just that I hope everybody was able to use some of my picks yesterday, especially Don Johnson, who likes the pick 4s. If he did pretty well because I won the last 4 of the 5 pick 4s, and I paid like $16.88 and $2,300 and $400 and $250. So that wasn't too bad. Plus my pick of the day also won, so that was good.
Indeed, it is good. So I like the 7 horse here a lot, York. How are things over in England today? Probably sunny, right? Cool, as you guys get ready for the winter as well. I like the 7 horse Gebologist. I think it has a great shot to do pretty well. There's a lot of good scores in here across the board for that 7 horse with the top speed figure. So I think that one has as good a chance as any to win, and that's why I put a trifecta box. And in fact, if it goes off at 8-1, I hope it actually does win.
Yeah, it's my one of my alternates. So
they're off and running in the second race at Parx at the moment. And let me go back to race number 2 here for our data. The 2 horse is on the lead. We thought Villanito would be on the lead. It is indeed on the lead. The 4 horse, Mendesley, another one that we thought would compete early on, is indeed competing early on. In the 3rd spot is the 5 horse, Surfboard. That's my pick. Hopefully you can get by that 1-1 shot. On the rail is the 1 horse, First Squad. And then you have a little bit of a gap back to the 6 horse, Kofesh. And then way in the back of the pack is Bow in the Back, the 3 horse. That one's about, 6-7 lengths off the leads right now. They open quarter in 24.3 seconds. So a little bit quicker than the last race where the 1 horse was able to get to the front. Stay there all the way around the track. Pretty tightly bunched in the top 4 there. It looks like the 1 horse is backing out a little bit. 2 horses trying to extend its lead right now. The 4 is trying to keep pace. Not really doing so. My 5 horse is kind of struggling a little bit. I don't know that he's going to get up there and help me with my double. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think we're going to find another horse that gets to the front, the 2 horse. And that one's probably going to go wire to wire, Mr. Terry. And indeed, that's what he's going to do at 1-1. So back-to-back 1-1s today. Not even asking that horse to do anything at the moment. Just kind of cruising along a little bit. It looks like it's going to go, maybe the 1 horse will get in there. I don't know. Right now, it looks like it's going to go 2, 4, and then maybe the 6 horse. 2, easy winner. Always bet the gray. Then the 4, and then it's going to be tough between the 1 and the 6. So still both of us alive on our pick 4s. I lost my double on both ends there, unfortunately. But that's okay because I made over $50 in my first half. So I just need to find another $51 to have a little bit of a profit today. 1-1s to start the pick 4, though. It ain't going to be $1,000 pick 4 like yesterday.
Nope, sure won't.
No. 6th race begins the late pick 4. Maybe we can find one there for $1,000 or more. Terry, tell us about what they're running for.
It's a 6 furlong race, a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, purse $21,000 for 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
So I watch the races on TVG or Twin Spires here in the United States. If you open up an account with any of the horse racing services where you can bet on the races, once the account's open, you can watch them. They don't require you to make any specific number of bets, just as long as you have an account. I don't know how often they sweep and close inactive accounts, but just make a couple wagers now and then, even for a few bucks, and you get to watch the races for free. 6 furlongs like this show is free. We should start charging especially after $6,000 days. 6 furlongs, stalkers, they do really well, but still 35% of the horses that get to the front stay on the front. They'll never see the backside of another horse as they win wire to wire. There's an inside-out bias. Where the closer you are to the rail, the better. The only place that doesn't perform up to par is 8 and out. So in race number 6, which is somehow all the way over here, Terry. How did I missed my pick 4 here in race number 6? How can that be? Where did I put it?
I don't know.
I don't know either. So let's figure out where that went. But in the meantime, Terry, for race number 6, tell us all about the data here.
Okay, well, as you can see, they're all but the one. Whoops.
Well,
Are
I'm
we
sorry.
in the right race here?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out where I put my pick 6.
Okay, all but the 1 shows speed, but the 3 has the most speed and really should get to that quarter pole first. If there's any problems, the 6 and 8 have a chance to get there. The 2 has an overlay from 9 to 2 to 6 to 1. The 5 has an overlay from 8 to 5 to 9 to 2. And the 8 has an overlay from 7 to 2 to 4 to 1. All but the 1, 4, and 9 have par plus numbers. All but the 4 have C zones. And the 3 and the 6 show 30% Q30s.
Yeah. So our race shape for the 6th race. Most of the horses middle back, although you got 2 Sesame Street horses here in the middle with Rabbit and So Close So Far. They can have a little bit of flexibility, particularly the 8. That 8 has the ability to move around on the track, more so probably than the 5. When the race gets going, Nerdorf of the 2 speed horses is going to be out front. The 8 horse, the PC, could be in the mix too. Not so much lead dependent as the 6. So I think you'll see the 3 and the 6 come out of the gates with their tails on fire. As they come home, Bluey, that one will be coming the hardest of them all, about a length and a half more late speed than the rest. Although this one could be so far off the picture that Jessica Paquette might not give it a call until they come around the corner heading for home. Top total pace horse, Rabbit. That one's a few points better than Tough Workout, a few points better than Newdorf, a few points better than Warrior's Vow. 2, 3, 5, 6 might be the winner in there. Terry, where do you see the winner being?
Well, I like in this race the 5 Rabbit. He finished 3rd versus Tupper in his last race. He has the highest last speed figure at today's distance, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, and switches high percentage winning jockey. Lots of boxes marked off. And then the 8, So Close So Far, is my second choice. He won his last race by 8 lengths, drops in class today, has the highest race speed rating, or last race speed rating. Newdorf, the 3, is my third choice, drops in class today, and the distance will not be a problem. He finished in the money in 60% of the races, winning 30% of the starts at today's distance. And then 9 is Scamp Walker, is my long shot. He has finished in the money in 7 out of the last 10 starts, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. I really think this is a pretty wide open race, so I use the 2, 3, 5, 8, 9 in my pick 4 with the 1, 3, 5, 6. And then the 2, 3, finishing up with the 3, 5, 8. $48 ticket, I believe.
All right. So let me put mine in here now. So I got my pick 4 in there finally. I don't know where it went before, but it went somewhere. But we got it back. I'm going to start with the 5 horse too, Terry. Rabbit. Seems like a good name for a horse. Won't be on the lead there. It'll be coming at the end, to be honest with you. Does have some strong late pace and is also our simulation favorite. I don't know what the hell happened here, but all right. I don't want a dollar sign. It's not currency. I don't know what's going on there. We'll fix that later. But anyhow, number 8, well, there's a dollar sign there. So Close So Far. Maybe that means it's the winner. Just focus on that one. Won at this level by 8 in his last race. Was claimed, spent some time on the bench. First race since June the 18th. And number 3, Newdorf. That one should be forward and give it a crack to go wire to wire. It's going to drop in the second at this level the last time it ran there, and does have that Q30 score along with the 6 horse. Finally, the 6 horse, the other Q30, Tough Workout, was a really hard call for me over the 2 horse in this spot. Just missed at this level. You know what? I can add that 2-horse in there, I think, right there. I can't add that 2-horse, so forget it. I'm going to go. So that's my pick 4 is going to be 3, 5, 6, and 8. Over to 1, 6, over to 2, 3, over to 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Mine, 2, is a $48 ticket.
And I had to make a correction because I had one too many horses in that first leg, so I took the 2 out. So otherwise, I would have exceeded my budgets.
And we can't do that. Otherwise, Terry will be mad.
Yeah.
All right. So race number 7, 3 races to go. What's the story here?
Okay, then we're going to a mile. It's a maiden race, $50,000 purse for maidens 3-year-olds and upward.
And 1 mile, which is 1 trip around the track. They'll start here. They'll end there. The best way to get there first, Terry, is to be fast. 38% of the time, the horse that gets to the front stays there all the way around that 1 trip around the track. Post positions 1, 2, and 3, they're fair. 4 through 7 get a discount. The best place to be, and it's not close, is to where an 8 are out. So if you're a Buffalo girl on the outside with some speed, you got a shot. But there aren't 8 horses in here, so it looks like the 6-horse will get that task.
That's right. They all show speed, but the 6 has the most speed. Should get there, I think. The 1 has an overlay from 2 to 1 to 5 to 2. The 5 has an overlay from 8 to 1. I'm sorry, the 5 has an overlay from 2 to 1 to 5 to 1. And all but the 4 show par plus numbers, all but the 5 show season.
Yeah, we've got 29 close here with the horse that's going to be on the lead. That Harbor Bridge, to get to the front, could be very difficult to deal with. Well, look at this. Everybody wants to close, Terry. That's pretty interesting. So when you see this, usually the horse that does have some early speed is the one that's very difficult to contend with. Looks like that 6-horse, Harbor Bridge, is the one with speed for all of these closers. Left arrow horse, de jour. At the end, Tricolor does have the most late speed, a little bit better than everybody else. It's also your top total pace horse with St. Pete's Passion. That speed horse falling off a little bit, but only 4 points differential between these 5 horses here, Terry. So any of those 5 can win. Looks like you can just toss the 4. And we both did that. And we both started with the 1.
Okay, I like the 1. Yeah, Tricolor. He ran 3rd versus in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. And he has my favorite jockey at Parx Racing, Paco Lopez. I like the 3, Atrocious. He finished 2nd in his last start as a favorite, but he has a trainer wins 28% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back again, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Harbor Bridge is my number 6 horse, my 3rd choice, finished 2nd in his last race. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 41% of the starts when taking a horse from a sprint to a route, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like is my long shot 5, St. Pete's Passion. He finished 2nd in his last 2 starts, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets in this race for me as I'm waiting for the 8th race.
The 1-horse Tricolor, 3 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. That's a 15% winning angle, according to Barry Meadows in his book, The Skeptical Handicapper. Also has the top last race speed figure, 4 points better than everybody else, and has some pretty good late pace to boot in a race where, well, that might be the difference maker. Harbor Bridge, that is that horse that's going to get to the front. Aside from the 1-horse, Tricolor does have the most back class, and aside from the 1, the only other horse in the field with a race that is par or better on its resume. Atrocious, the 3-horse, definitely been facing the toughest of this crew, but it does look like the horse's preferred racing surface is all weather, the synthetic stuff. Most of it, it's got 1/3 on dirt. Everything else that it's hit the board on 5 times has been all weather. St. Pete's Passion, the 5-horse, 3 consecutive speed figure increases for this one, too. Could be at its best in the 3rd start after a layoff, and is your 2nd best par plus horse and your 2nd choice according to our simulation odds. I'm going to do $6 to win on the 1, and then a $1 exacta, 1 over to 3-6, which exhausts my budget. And that brings us to race number 8, the beginning of the late daily double, where you might want to single up a 1-horse in the first leg, because Terry's best bet's coming up. Once again, they're going to make 1 trip around the track.
That's right. It's a mile optional claiming race, $25,000 claiming price. If you elect to put your horse in there to possibly be claimed, purse $26,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for $25,000 or less, or which have never won 3 races, or a claiming price of $25,000, or which have never won 3 races.
And once again, at a mile, it does absolutely look like being forward is the best chance to find the winner's circle. 38%, so a touch under 4 out of 10. Getting to the front and staying there. Post positions 1, 2, and 3 are fair. 4 through 7 get a little bit of a hit. 8 and out. They get a pretty sizable bonus, Terry. So in this race, there was supposed to be 8. Some scratches got us down to 6. And it does look like there's plenty of speed in this group.
There is, and there's nobody that really shows outstanding in speed as far as the rest of the field. So it's another anyone's guess race again. The 1 has an overlay from 5.5 to 1 to 8 to 1. The 2 has an overlay from just about 2.5 to 1 to 3 to 1, and the 4 has an overlay from 2.5 to 1 to 9 to 2. All show par plus, and all but the 8 show C zone.
I put my picks in the comments after the show. Okay, yeah, so head on to the show for the picks. I got to make sure we're on race number 8 so we don't get confused. Again, when the show is over, we'll have Private Ross's picks in the comments, but we'll also have in the description, it'll say see more. Just click on the description, see more. Every single race will be timestamped. So you want to come back and see why Terry likes the 3 as his best bet. All you need to do is click on race number 8. You'll see the time there in blue. It'll take you straight to it. Our race shape for the 8th race. You see, look at this, that 2 horse out there all by himself, secure landing. If he can get the lead, would be very difficult to deal with, particularly since everybody else wants to be in the middle or back. But it does look like it's going to have to hustle to get there. Traffic Master and Patriarchal are your fastest 2. Matscari, that one's in the 3rd spot. Late speed, Terry, pretty tight knit in here as well. Prince of Chill with the most of it, a length better than everybody else, maybe more than a length off early on. So they'll need the other ones to probably go a little bit quicker. Traffic Master is your top total pace horse. The 1, 3, 5, and 4, 2, and 8, a little bit off the pace there. Terry, which one did you put at the top of your list?
Well, number 3, Prince of Chill, my pick of the day at Parx Racing. He likes this track. He's won a bit on the money, 86% of the races here. He's won 29% of those starts, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 2, Secure Landing, is my second choice, finishing the money in 4 out of the last 6 starts, winning 2 of the races, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Traffic Master, the 4, is my third choice. He ran second versus similar to his last race. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and he also has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey as well. And then the 5 is my long shot. He has finished the money in his last 3 starts, winning 1 of those races, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm going to bet $20 a win, $30 to place on number 3, a $1 exacta 2, 3, 4, 5 box, a $4 exacta 3 on top with the 2, 4, 5, and then a $5 double 3 with the 1, 3, 5, 8.
So for me in this particular spot, I'm going to start with the 2 horse. That was way off the charts on our pace, so I'm kind of bucking the trend here a little bit. But it's the only horse in the race with a recent par race on its resume. And if you look at the horse's performances at Parx, they've been pretty dominant. It's a neck away from winning all 3. So the horse for the course angle, number 3, Prince of Chill. Kendrick Carmouche coming in to ride this one at this level. Last out, the horse just missed. So just a little bit of improvement today could be the answer to Terry's pick of the day, winning again, which would be the number 3 horse on back-to-back days. Number 4, Traffic Master. You have Jamie Ness, Mikel Sanchez, usually a dynamic duo. This horse is very consistent in terms of performance from race to race, but it's also been pretty consistent at not winning at Parx, 11 times out and yet to find the winner's circle. Patriarchal, the 5 horse, much better early speed in its last with much better fractions. A lot of times that's a sign of a horse that's coming to play. That one might be the long shot that upsets everything that we do here. Final race of the day, Terry, is the 9th race at Parx again tomorrow. Churchill Downs will probably start around 1 p.m. Eastern. And to make sure you don't miss that, about 30 minutes before, we'll put out we'll load the show on YouTube. And another way to make sure you don't miss it is to do what, Terry?
You need to subscribe to YouTube, our YouTube channel, and hit the little bell so that notifies you about all our programs and when they're coming up. Go down and copy that link, share it with all your friends, relatives, neighbors, everybody you know, so that they can come check us out too. Go to our social sites at Horse Race the number 2 day. Give us thumbs up and likes. It really helps us out with getting tools to work some picks out for you folks. And then also keep giving us the picks and the comments, as we enjoy seeing them, and they also help us out with the algorithms.
So right now we're 175 people short of 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. If everybody who's watching the show today that hasn't subscribed, we would absolutely 1,000% cross over that 6,000 mark. So don't be the 9 out of 10 that don't subscribe. Be the 1 out of 10, the winner who does subscribe. You don't want the L on your tattoo to your forehead. And certainly considering yesterday, hey, Jane, been a while. How have you been? Jockey is very important at Parx. Yes, and jockey can be very important at Parx for sure, especially if his name is Paco Lopez or Ruben or Mikel. Those three tend to do exceptionally well. All right, for the last race of the day, Terry, take it away.
All right. Well, it's a 6 furlong race. It's $10,000 claiming price. It's a purse, $26,000. It's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since August 12th. Claiming races for $8,000 or less are not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
Tafam, do you own the hotel? That would be interesting. Terry and I have actually talked about coming out to Turkey, and we'll do a show right from the beach there where you're in your picture. You see Tafam lounging by the beach. So that'd be an excellent place to do the show, I think, Terry. So at 6 furlongs, an excellent way to get to the winner's circle is to have some stalking ability, but still a big number. 35 out of 100 win on the front. There is, again, an inside-out bias. Inside 3, get the best of it. If you wear an 8 or out, you get the worst of it, Terry. This time there are more than 8 horses. And, again, very competitive start for a lot of horses in here.
It is. It's all full of some speed. Everyone has speed, and there's at least 3 of them that are really close in speed. So it's another anyone guess race, at least for me it is. The 3 has an overlay from 3-1 to 7-2. The 5 has an overlay from 5-2 to 9-2. The 9 has an overlay from 5-1 to 8-1. All but the 2 show par plus, and they all show C zones, and some of them are pretty nice.
Yeah, anything above 50 is something to keep an eye on. All these horses with par plus sure looks like a whole lot of horses with a shot to win this one. If we're trying to find an in-race edge, well, there really isn't one. These guys want to be forward. These guys want to press. These guys have some ability to be forward, press. They can do a lot of different things. So just from a race shape standpoint, it looks like just about anybody can win. If you want the horse that gets to the lead, Road to Dreams on the rail. Probably going to get there. Turn on the Charm, another one that wants to be forward. The 5 horse, a little bit of flexibility. But again, most of these horses, except for the 3, can compete early on. The end of the race, the 3 horse, well, what it doesn't have in early speed, it has in late speed, about a length quicker than everybody else, but probably around 2.5 lengths off the lead early on. It's going to need all of these other ones to really dig in and get after it early on to take advantage of those late legs. 5, 6, 8, and 9, those are your top 4. More than likely, you'll find the winner in that grouping. Terry, share with us your grouping.
Well, I like the 3 Chelsea as Wall. She won 3 out of the last 5 races. She has a high percentage winning trainer, which is a high percentage winning jockey, and she has a nice bullet workout on November 1st of 4 furlongs. Number 8, If I Had a Chance, is my second choice, has finished in the money in 7 out of the last 10 starts, winning 3 of the races and can handle the distance. Peyton's College is the 5, is my third choice. She has finished in the money in her last 5 races, winning 3 of those races and at Parx Racing, and she can handle the distance. And number 1, Road to Dreams, is my long shot. She ran second in her last race. Brell Post is winning 19% clip, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets as I'm out of money.
Like you, I'm going to start with that 3 horse, the closer. It's been off for more than a year. The workouts, though, have been really fast for Jamie Ness and Mikel Sanchez. We mentioned jockeys being important there. Well, Miss M&M is another one that has a good jockey on there. Paco. This one's making the second start at Parx after track dropping from the likes of Gulfstream Park. Last time out, that horse was the 1-5 favorite. And this morning they have it at 12-1. I hope it stays there. Peyton College, the 5 horse, catching a weight break today. Should be forward versus this group and is our simulation favorite. And then Finale, Valiant Majesty. The last 2 times she ran anywhere close to this level, she won. At Parx, 20 races, 8 of those ending up in the winner's circle. That's 40% winning rate. That's a pretty hot rate to win at any particular track. So I'll dub that one a horse for the course. No additional bets for me, Mr. Terry, either, as I've used up all of my money as well. Here are our full picks for the day at Parx. And before we get up out of here today, again, folks, remember, free picks today at Guaranteed Tip Sheet at Finger Lakes. Just a few minutes from now, we'll post all of our picks, our thoughts, and a race replay at horseracingtoday.net. You'll see right there in the middle. All you got to do is click on that. All of that will be at your fingertips. And then go over to HRT Gear, get yourself a sweatshirt. The weather is absolutely ready to break. All the leaves are falling on the ground where I live, Terry. The wind is cold. Soon the snow shall follow. Again, all of our picks for today. And then, as always, any final thoughts from you before we leave?
Well, I just want everybody to be safe. Enjoy each day to its fullest, as you never know what's going to happen. Give all your loved ones a kiss and a hug, because you need to let them know how you feel. And you don't know what's going to happen. Things, go on. And then other than that, just have a great rest of the week. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Absolutely, 1,000%. No matter what you're doing today, whether you're in Turkey, you're in the United States, you're in England, you're somewhere in South America, wherever you're watching today, we certainly hope that your endeavors, your life's dreams, all are blessed with God's favor, God's grace, and everything you do for the rest of this day until we get back for Hump Day with Hollywood Hay at Churchill on that day ends up in
the winner's circle.
See you tomorrow. Make it a fantastic and blessed, terrific Terry Tuesday.